Coming up on the Suze Orman Show.
Don't be debt dumb. I'm going to give you the correct strategy for paying down your credit card debt.
Also, a Suze follow-up.
He said he was working on a PhD. He was not. It was all a lie.
I gave you a list of things to do. Did you do any of them?
I did take back the car, which was kind of a crazy story.
And you asked me, can I afford it?
I want to get a treadmill. It's $279. It's on sale. I do live in Miami. It's unpredictable, the weather.
Are you kidding me?
Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Can we talk? Can we just talk? A little bit ago, I'm watching television, and I see a so-called financial pundit come on, and he is telling everybody the best way to get out of credit card debt. And as I'm watching the TV, I am screaming at the TV going, are you kidding me? That is the dumbest strategy I have ever heard in my life. So therefore, I thought, why not just set the record straight and make sure that none of you are debt dumb and that all of you are really, really smart when it comes to how to pay down credit card debt. Now, there's only one way and one way only to pay down credit card debt, and it's as follows. You need to line up your credit cards from the highest interest rate to the lowest. This so-called financial pundit's advice was, pay the lowest balance on your credit cards first. Forget about the interest rate. Whatever the lowest balance is, just get rid of it. You'll psychologically feel good and you'll be able to tackle it like that. Are you kidding me? Does that mean that if you have a credit card at $200 that you owe at 0%, you should pay that off before a $300 credit card that's at 29%? Is that what that means? That is just plain wrong. So you are to do it this way and this way only. You are to line up your credit cards from the highest interest rate to the lowest, regardless of balance. You are then to call your credit card companies and see if you could get the interest rate lowered. Now, I'm here to tell you, chances are you're not going to be able to do it because the credit card companies aren't really working with you like that anymore. What you might want to do is, if you have a good FICO score, do a balance transfer to a credit union credit card for your highest interest rate cards, or all of them if you possibly can. If you do, a balance transfer at a credit union credit card is usually 0. If you have good FICO scores, you can get a 6, 7, 8% interest rate or lower. The highest they can take you no matter what is 18% if it's a federally chartered credit union, so that's what you should do. After you have made the changes, again, look at your credit card from the highest to the lowest interest rates, and you need to pay the minimum on every single card. If you have extra money, let's say the minimum on every card was $20, and you have an extra $200 a month to pay on top of the minimum. Take that $200 and put it towards the highest interest rate card that you currently have. So maybe you're paying the minimum, which is $20, plus $200 more, $220 on that card. Once that card is paid off, you take that $220 and you pay it on the next highest interest rate card. Remember, you were paying $20 minimum on that card. Now you're paying $240 on that card. When that card is paid off, you keep rolling it down. And before you know it, you will be out of credit card debt. It's not about psychologically feeling good and getting rid of these low balance cards. It's about you being psychologically strong enough to know that you are handling your debt in an intelligent way. Again, the Suze Orman Show is all about you being wise with your money. Don't be debt dumb, people. Hear me? Let's go to Illinois. Mary, you have a question for me?
Hi, Suze. Thanks for taking my question. I appreciate your time.
Anytime.
So I am happily married. I've been married for more than 10 years, and my husband and I get along beautifully, except when it comes to money. I come from a family of savers, and he from a family of spenders, and it seems like he's been brought up in a different way than I am as far as money, and that seems to be the problem that we always come to. Any advice to handle a family budget without ruining a marriage.
Yeah. Here's what concerns me. You started this call saying that you and your husband have been happily married for the past 10 years. How are you happily married when there are arguments over money? Do you know today in the United States, the #1 reason for divorce is arguments over money? So I get that you say to everybody, you even said it to me on the air tonight, that you're happily married. But between you and me, you cannot be happily married if you're having arguments over money, because everything relates back to money. You go to work for money. You need money to do the electricity. You need money to take care of your kids. You need money to feed your... Are you kidding me? You cannot be as happy as you say you are if you're arguing over money, can you?
Probably not.
Thank you. Because here's the thing. You have got to stand in your truth. You cannot solve a problem by acting one way yet feeling another. You cannot solve a problem by saying one thing but yet thinking another. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside to the whole world. Mary, all that matters is how you feel on the inside. And isn't it true? I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask you to be honest with me. Do you not feel like you are the mother to your husband versus his wife when it comes to money? You feel
Sometimes
like a mother.
I feel like I'm making the rules instead of making a decision.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a motherly role. That's not a wife role. So then you find yourself talking to your husband like he is your son. Honey, don't do that. Don't do this. This is how we're going to do it. Then that makes him upset, and that affects your relationship. So here's the real question. What is keeping your husband from becoming the mature man that he should be after 10 years of marriage? What is keeping him this financial little brat that he's been his whole life? What? And that is the answer to your question. When you can figure that out with him, why is he doing something that he knows he shouldn't be doing, you know he shouldn't be doing, but he refuses to financially grow up? Why? Because a truly intelligent, strong human being would stop spending money they don't have, would want to get out of credit card debt, would want to make every penny count, and they would want to count every single penny. Because the older you get, the more you know that the money is more important, because shortly you're not going to be able to work for money, and you're going to have to live off of the money you work for. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're going to have to figure this out, because you don't have the question. So you need to sit down and talk with him, not to him. And if you don't get this problem solved, there will become a time when you're not even going to be able to fake it at all. And you're not going to be able to say we're happily married. You're going to be able to say, I am just miserable in this relationship, unless you solve it now. All right, let's go to California. Michelle, girlfriend, ask me your question.
Oh, hi, Susie. It's so great to talk to you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. What's up?
I'm 75 years young and still working hard. My question is about the advice I was given by my company's financial advisor. I have a little over $500,000, mostly in cash.
I got news. I have a feeling if you listen to your company's financial advisor, you're going to have a little bit over $200,000 when it's all said and done. But let's see if that's true. Okay, go on.
This advisor suggests that I take $288,000 and put it into an annuity that will give me $2,000 for the rest of my life. However, the insurance company keeps the money no matter how long I live.
Yeah.
He also suggested that I put $126,000 in stocks and bonds, which he takes a 1% commission on, and to put $100,000 in CDs.
Does he get money to put them in the CDs?
I don't think so.
All right, so first my question to you is, do you have any beneficiaries whatsoever?
Well, I was thinking of leaving. I don't have family, so I was thinking of leaving my money to a university for scholarship.
All right, but if you do the annuity, there is no way that you're going to be leaving that $288,000 to a university. That's number one. Number two, even though it looks like, because here's how he sold it to you. Listen, $288,000 will pay you $2,000 a month every month for the rest of your life, correct?
Yes.
That's $24,000 a year. $24,000 a year on $288,000 is about 9% on your money. And he's saying to you, where can you get 8 or 9% on your money anywhere else? Isn't that what you were told, right?
Yes.
But
Correct.
it's not 8 or 9% on your money. The reason that when you do an immediate annuity, again, everybody, an annuity is a contract with an insurance company. An immediate annuity means it starts paying you income immediately. However, they are paying you interest on your money and giving you a portion of your principal back. So a good part of that annuity payment to you every single month is actually your money coming back to you. They base your age, your health, and everything. They know how long you will actuarially live, and therefore they have figured it out that they can give you $24,000 a year. $24,000 a year is 10, 15 years worth of payments. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
And then by then, you probably won't be here anymore. They've made their money. You've gotten what you thought was an 8 or 9% return on your money. You can do that yourself, by the way. You don't need them to do that for you. You could very easily do that yourself. The only reason an immediate annuity makes sense is if you live to be 100 or 150 or 120, then they've lost and you've won the bet. But chances are the insurance company will win the bet. That's number one. Number two, for you to put $126,000 under management of 1% with him with bonds and stocks, that's already something you don't want to do because bonds, especially if you buy individual bonds, bonds already have a commission built into it. So that should be in a separate fund, and the money that he's managing may be at 1%. Okay. But somehow I'm not liking the advice of this financial advisor at all. Here's the scoop. When we get off this call, my producers will give you the name of somebody in New York who I think is just fabulous, that you can talk to him on the phone and see if you like him. Chances are, though, he might just tell you, because he is an honest financial advisor that tells you good things to do, he may just say, leave it where you are, or he'll tell you what he really thinks. But I wouldn't make a move before we really talk about this more. Up next, a Suze follow-up. You're paying for his rent, you're paying for all of these things, and then we find out that this man is what? Say the word.
A liar.
He left you in such a financial bind. I gave you a list of things to do. Did you do any of them? Which did you do? What do you got going? And later, in wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
We're looking at a closet system because our master closet is a little crazy and overflowing.
You know how you can stop it? Stop spending so much money on clothes that then causes you to spend $3,500 on a closet system. Welcome back, everybody, now for a Suze follow-up. And I have to tell you, I have been waiting for this one. A few months ago, our guest tonight, Heather, was in a true financial bind. She was getting divorced, or she had just divorced her husband, a man she thought she knew, and he left her in serious financial straits. Take a look.
I met a man and thought that I fell in love with him. He fell in love with me. It all seemed just so wonderful. And, you know, he seemed like a great guy who was a little bit down on his luck, had some hard times, and was trying to get his life back on track.
You're with this affectionate man. You love being with him. You're paying for his rent. You're paying for all of these things. And then we find out that this man is what? Say the word.
A liar.
A liar. And he, when we talk to him, even agrees that he was a liar. Tell everybody what he lied to you about.
The main one was that he had told me he had a master's degree, which he did not have. He said he was working on a PhD. He was not.
Keep going.
He started school when we were engaged, did not finish even the first semester.
Keep going.
Continued to tell me that he was in school, let me marry him, start a business for him, buy him a car,
And
it was all a lie.
I have to tell you, just even looking at you in comparison to what you looked like before, you look like a grounded woman, very attractive, very much somebody who has taken her power back. Part of what I told you to do was to get back the car. He was driving a car that you were responsible for. You were paying for the car insurance. You were paying his medical bills. He left you in such a financial bind. I can't even tell you. I gave you a list of things to do. Did you do any of them? Which did you do? What do you got going?
Well, I did take back the car, which was kind of a crazy story. I called him and I told him I wanted the car back. And of course, he has this way of convincing me not to take it. And I probably would have let him keep it a while longer than I did, except I found out he was on Facebook talking to all these other women, saying how he was going to take a scuba trip. You know, he wanted his passport back. One day he called me up and he wanted to come over for the 5th time and get some of his things. And then he ended up canceling on me, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I thought, this man is just jerking me around. I need to get this car back, and I need to move on with everything. And so I found out where he was working one night, and I went over with a friend, and I took my spare key to the car, and we found it in the parking lot, and I got in it, and I drove it away.
And then what happened?
Then we went out somewhere to eat, and he started calling me, and I didn't answer the first couple of calls. Then I heard a message that he had left saying he had the police there and thought the car may have been stolen. So the next time he called me, I answered the phone. I said, the car has not been stolen. I know exactly where it is. You can tell the police to go.
And what did he say?
He said, what am I supposed to do? I said, it's not my problem. And I just hung up.
How did that feel? When you say, I love when I say those words, sorry, not my problem. How did that feel?
It was great. It was unbelievable. I just thought, this is the craziest thing I have ever done, but it was kind of a rush.
It was a rush, and by the way, everybody watching tonight, it was legal. You now have a car. What did you do with it?
I sold it. Then I ended up having a friend who wanted the car for her son, and they offered me a little bit more than what the dealers had offered me, and I thought, you know, I just want to get rid of it. So I sold it to them. I still owed about $2,700 after I got the money from selling it. So I ended up having to take out a small loan on my car, which kind of was not too great to have to give him back the title that I had paid off, but I just thought, you know, this is the best thing. And
but still, paying a $2,700 loan on your car is a whole lot less expensive than paying $7,000 or $8,000 loan on his car. And so your payments now have decreased tremendously. You don't have the car insurance payments that you had, right? You had to pay payments for car insurance for his car. So all of that has decreased your monthly expenses big time. My producers say I am going to love the answer to this question. How much have you paid down on your credit card debt?
I've paid down around, I think, between $6,000 and $7,000 altogether.
All right, can you say that like you own that? It has been literally 2 or 3 months since you were on last time. In 3 months, you have paid down $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt. That is no small feat. That is incredible.
Well, Susie, you know, I never wanted to have this credit card debt. I've never been in credit card debt in my life. And now that he's not taken all my money, am able to pay it off and get out of it. And I know you said probably it would take 15 months, and I'm just trying to maybe make it a little sooner than that. I've been able to.
I love this for you. I love this for you. Here's my main question to you. Do you understand how powerful you are all in your own right?
I do, and it's kind of hard that it's taken something like this to get me to find that out. You know, more than the money, the fact that I lost so much of myself when I was with him is pretty hard to deal with.
You are the greatest gift you can give yourself ever. Do you hear me, Heather?
I do.
Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I want to buy private school for our daughter because my wife and I agree we want to get our daughter the best education.
$36,000 a year to, how old is your daughter?
She's 4.
To send your 4-year-old to grammar school. Also,
my friends recently bought the sweetest little Maltese puppy that I just instantly fell in love with, and now I really, really want one too.
I can make it really easy right now and just deny you. How's that?
No.
What do you want to buy?
Maltese puppy.
Private school for our daughter. Gas insert for our fireplace.
Welcome back, everybody. Want to buy something, do you? Do you have the money to do so? Is it a want? Is it a need? Well, all that really matters is that you can afford it. This is the segment where you call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy, and I tell you if you can afford it or not. Grrr, are you ready? Marissa, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Anytime. Go for it.
Okay, well, Susie, my friends recently bought the sweetest little Maltese puppy that I just instantly fell in love with, and now I really, really want one too. My boyfriend, however, is very skeptical that we can afford one anytime soon, considering within the near future we will most likely have wedding expenses, a possible new car purchase, and the remainder of my tuition for a graduate program that I'm finishing up this fall.
I can make it really easy right now and just deny you. How's that?
No.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, let me look at this puppy. $700 to buy, $30 a month in expenses, and we have to make sure, because this just happened to somebody that I know, she bought this cute little dog that was a puppy, and now it needs a knee operation, $2,500. Now it needs another knee operation, another $2,500, wipes out her savings, blah, 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 blah. It's an expensive thing. Show me the money.
Okay. Well, we have a combined monthly income of $6,500.
Yep.
Our expenses total $3,679 each month. $1,300 of that is our rent. Debt is my car loan with a balance of $10,000 at 3.5%, and I do have $2,000 on a credit card only because it's at 0% for another few months.
Yep.
In savings, we have a combined $92,000 liquid and also $50,000 in various retirement accounts.
And am I seeing this right? You are 24 years of age?
I am, yes.
And you want to buy a dog knowing that you still have a car payment, you're going to have student loan payment and everything like that, correct?
I am paying the tuition out of savings.
All right. And but you still want this dog?
I do.
Approved.
Yay!
And let me tell you why. Sometimes when I look at these situations, besides, that dog is so cute, I would even want to buy it. All right, at 24 years of age, you guys are doing so well, I can't even stand it. So given that I know you're responsible with money, there's enough money there in case the dog does get sick. Girlfriend, go and cuddle up, and don't be surprised if that means you're going to postpone having babies for a few years, and that will save you a lot of money. So I took that into consideration as well, because you're going to love that little thing so much. Who knows what can happen here? Brian, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. How are you?
I'm fabulous, sir. What's up?
I want to buy private school for our daughter because my wife and I agree we want to get our daughter the best education that we can afford, and I guess that's where you come in.
Now, Brian, before we even go into your money, don't you think it is just a travesty that in the United States of America, you have to spend $36,000 a year to, how old is your daughter?
She's 4.
To send your 4-year-old to grammar school?
Yes, I do.
That is a travesty, everybody. That is a travesty. Anyway, show me the money.
Okay, Susie. So take home $25,000 a month.
Yes.
We have $12,240 a month in expenses.
Yes.
We owe $376,000 on a 30-year fixed mortgage.
Yes.
At 4.75%.
Yes.
We have in savings $256,000 liquid, $53,000 in investments, and $128,000 in a retirement fund.
I just have to do this because I'm going to get emails after this, and somebody's going to say, how does a 35-year-old make that much money? Was any of this money given to you?
No, I worked for it, every penny of it.
And you saved it, and you know, and do you understand, everybody? It is possible. It is possible out there. Brian is showing you that it's possible. So you want to know, can you spend an additional $3,000 a month added onto your $12,000 a month of expenses? Approved, my dear one. Because you still have $10,000 more per month that you're not doing anything with. You are doing great. I just still think it is a travesty that you have to do that. Stephen, what do you want to buy?
Hello, Susie. Great to be on your show.
Thanks, Stephen. What's up? What do you want to buy?
Well, we're looking at a closet system because our master closet is a little crazy and overflowing. But the problem is they're $3,500.
You know how you can stop it? Stop spending so much money on clothes that then causes you to spend $3,500 on a closet system. Boyfriend, show me the money.
Well, we have a combined income of $8,460.
Yep.
Expenses of $5,326 a month.
Yep.
$155,000 owing on a 15-year fixed mortgage at 4.25.
Great.
And $21K on a car loan, 0%.
All right.
We have savings, $53,000 liquid.
Yep.
$43,000 in investments, and $223,000.
All right, approved. Because at the age of 46, would I want to see you have a little bit more in retirement and things? I would, but even after you pay for this closet, which obviously is going to come from your emergency fund, you still have $10,000 more than the 8-month emergency fund that I would want you to have. And the truth of the matter is, when you are more organized, you find clothes, and therefore you don't go out and buy the same amount of clothes that you already have because you couldn't find them. You feel cleaner, you feel more powerful, and you go out and make more money. And it is a good selling feature for any house. You do it. All right, Marcel, what do you want to buy? So far, I have 3 yeses so far, Marcel. What do you want to buy?
Hello, Susie. I want to buy a gas insert for our fireplace. We have an old fireplace. It's ugly, inefficient, and these new inserts are good heating source. They're clean. They look good. And it may be a good selling feature down the road.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I agree with all of that. In a house that we have in San Francisco, we put one in, and I love it, just so you know. All right, show me the money.
All right, we have $4,960 combined income with $2,150 in rental income.
Yeah.
Our expenses are $50.72. Have a loan for $154 on a 5/1 ARM, and a loan for $188 on a 30-year fixed, no other debt. We have $107 in liquid, $6,000 in investments, and $74 in retirement.
All right, so you know you're short here a little bit on certain things, like your retirement is a little short and things like that, but approved. Because I do think it will help you enjoy the house a whole lot more. I do think you'll recapture that when you do sell it. I do think it will help you with your heating bills, and I do think it will help you with your love life when you sit down in front of it with a glass of wine or whatever it is that you may drink if you don't drink alcoholic beverages or whatever, and I think you'll enjoy your wife so much more. All right. Gianni, is that how we say it? Gianni, what do you want to buy?
Gianni, it's Italian.
Gianni, my dear, what do you want to buy?
I would like to buy a treadmill. Before anything, Susie, I just want to say that it's such an honor to talk to you. I think you're fabulous, and your show has been so helpful to me, and it's also very entertaining.
Thank you. So, permiso. So, go ahead.
I want to get a treadmill. It's $279. It's on sale. It's very convenient, to be able to run inside, because at times, because I do live in Miami, it's unpredictable, the weather. At times it rains, other times it's really, really hot. And
Are you kidding me? I live in Florida. I live 45 minutes from you. That's why I'm tan all the time, everybody. I live between Boca and Fort Lauderdale. And if you had said to me you live in New York City, it snows 8 feet at a time. It does this, it does that. All right, maybe. But are you telling me the rain in Miami and things keep you from doing something? Show me the money, and you better have a lot of money, my Italian stallion.
Okay, I take home currently $2,200 a month.
Yep.
My expenses are $1,841. That includes rent.
Yeah.
I only owe $11,000 on my car loan. My savings are $9,000 and $17,000 for my retirement.
And you're 32 years of age, denied. Oh, you knew I was going to deny. You didn't
I
shoot
know.
more petite. So it's
I tried.
listen, it's when you say I only owe $11,000 on my car, it's not just $11,000. It's not just $279. Go outside and run, get fresh air. You cannot afford it. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information you need to know there to come and play with me right here. But I just want to say something. I know, I'm going to get emails, and the emails are going to say, Susie, why can't you tell these people, rather than spending $700 on this little doggy that you can buy, why don't you go to the shelter? Why don't you pick up one for free? You'll save their lives. That's the thing that you should be telling everybody, Susie. Listen. This is a segment called Can I Afford It? They aren't asking me. I'm not sitting in judgment of them. I am not telling them what to buy. The question is, can they afford that dog or not? Do I think that they should go to the shelter and get one? Oh, you betcha I do. Do I think that's a better thing to do? You betcha I do. But that's not the question. It's can I afford it? And I simply answer that question. Got it? Coming up next, Sherry asks me,
Susie, how are we doing?
are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
And later, you want to be responsible, you want to do what's right, but these mortgage companies, these banks are saying, sorry, I can't help you. Welcome back, everybody. You know, this next segment is a segment that seems to have gotten a lot of you a little bit nervous. A little nervous because you maybe thought you were doing pretty good. But then again, you listen to the people that call in for this segment and you go, maybe I'm not doing so good after all. So right now, in this segment, Sherry wants to know, so that I can answer this question for her, Sherry wants to know, Susie, how am I doing?
Hi, Susie. My husband and I are 37 and 39. We have 2 young children. We've done so well with focusing on not having any debt that we got a late start with our retirement. We have a goal to help our kids with college and retire at age 60, but I don't even think we're close. Susie, how are we doing?
That's a good book you were reading there, my dear Sherry. Anyway, before I go through your numbers with you, here's the thing. We have 2 goals. You want to know, can you help those 2 incredibly beautiful children of yours? Can you help them pay for college? At the same time, can you save enough money to retire at the age of 60? You've given me your finances. You show me what you're doing right now. If you're going to give yourself a grade, do you think you're going to be able to retire at 60 and fund your kids' college education? What grade would you give yourself?
I would say a B. I really struggled, but I'm going to say a B.
A B. All right. Girlfriend, let's show everybody the money you have, and then I'll give you my grade. All right. Sherry and Tim, they have $9,349 a month of income. Fabulous, given that their expenses are only $6,198 a month. They have $194,000 in retirement. They have $43,000 in an emergency fund. They have $4,500 in credit card debt or consumer debt. They have $270,000 of a home value, and they only owe $213,000 on it. Oh, surprise, they have equity in their home. They have total assets of about $507,801 and total debt of $217,500. If you keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, can you save for your kids' college education and retire at the age of 60? And that grade to attain those 2 goals I'm going to give you is an, are you ready for this? You sure?
Oh, I'm ready.
It's an F.
An F?
An F, and let me tell you why.
Oh, boy.
I know, boy, but that's what this is about. But don't worry, I'm going to show you the way to an A. Okay. But let me just show you why you have gotten an F and the dangers that are out there. So Tim doesn't get a pension until he's 65 years of age. So if you want to retire at the age of 60, you can't start collecting Social Security at 60. You have to wait till at least 62, and you should wait till later, but all right. So if you continue to fund your retirement accounts the way that you're doing it, even if your employer match comes back, my dear Sherry, you're looking at having about $400,000 just 20 years from now, given what you're doing, all right? $400,000 will yield to you about $16,000 a year of income, or $1,333 a month before taxes. Now, okay, at 62, you can start collecting Social Security if you want. At the age of 65, you will get Tim's pension. But at the age of 65, with all of those things, if you start Social Security at 62, you are looking at $6,200 a month before taxes, or about $4,000 a month after taxes at the age of 65. Do you really think that is enough money to be able to make it? It is not. Here is your way to an A. You are making good income now, right now. You have a good difference. You might want to think, rather than putting $400 a month right now into a vacation fund, $500 a month into the educational fund, you have a piece of land for $40,000. Sell that and finance your kids' college education with it, if it means that much for you. But I'm more worried about your own retirement than the kids' college education. Therefore, if you can put away $2,000 a month starting right now into retirement, by the time, and you do that all the way until you're 67, you are not going to be retiring at 60. So who cares? If you do it all the way till you are 67, you will have about $1.5 million in your retirement account. When it's all said and done, you will have more than enough money. You'll get the pension. Everything will be just fine. But that's what you need to do. Do not think about retiring at 60. You just don't have the money. You know what really aggravates me? What really aggravates me, Anne?
5, 4, 3,
Here we go, Suze.
Mike, you, Susie.
Welcome back, everybody. I've moved from my studio into the control room here at CNBC. I want to check up on all of my producers and see how are they really doing. But do you want to be part of this show? It's easy. If you want to send in a question, all you have to do is send in your question to SuzeOrman.com or SuzeOrman.cnbc.com. Become a fan of my Facebook page at Suze Orman Show, or follow me on Twitter at Suze Orman Show. Or one of my favorite things we're doing now are these webcams, you know, where you get to stay in your home, look into your computer, and I get to see you, and I get to go right now to Atlanta to see who? I get to see Anne. Anne, you have a question for me.
Yes. Hi, Susie.
Girlfriend.
Hello. My question is, I am a single mother of a 4.5-year-old little girl, and we're stuck living in a condo that's too small for us and too expensive for my current income level. I bought it for $294,000, but I owe about $265,000, and it's worth about $175,000. And I'd like to, be able to leave there and get out of this condo, but with the depressed housing market, I don't see another way out other than declaring bankruptcy. I need your help. What do you suggest?
Boy, I hate that this is happening to you. I have a question back. Have you tried to work with your mortgage company to do a home loan modification?
Yes, I have, and they are not willing to. The company is not willing to work with me.
You know what really aggravates me? What really aggravates me, Anne, is good, solid human beings like you that want to be able to be responsible, to pay their mortgage. And all they're saying is, listen, the mortgages, because of everything that happened, my condo now is worth a whole lot less than what I owe. Are you kidding me? You want to be responsible. You want to do what's right. But these mortgage companies, these banks are saying, sorry, I can't help you. What are they thinking? Well, here's what I would tell you. If you know that you have been ethical, you have been responsible, you have done everything you can possibly do to try to do this, and you really can't afford to make the payment, you can either go into foreclosure, you can try to do a short sale, but they're probably not going to let you do a short sale either, or do bankruptcy, up to you. Either way, the end result will be you're going to get seriously dinged on your credit report. Your FICO score is going to go down, but who cares? In a few years from now, that will all be resolved. At least you'll be able to afford a place that you're going to rent. You know, this whole year, my theme is stand in your truth, learn to create your new American dream. And isn't it true, you'd rather be renting right now, your dream would be you'd rather be renting right now than living in your own home that you can't afford. Is that true?
Yes, and we'd like more space, too.
And girlfriend, that's what it's all about. So if your bank won't work with you, you've got to work with yourself, and you've got to take the actions in order to make this right. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, deed in lieu of foreclosure, or a short sale, any one of those is an option for you. All right, everybody, that was the answer to Ann's question. Now, I want you to stay tuned, because coming up next is something that I want you all to know. The reason that right now I don't like immediate annuities at all in most cases is that welcome back, everybody. You know, earlier in tonight's show, you saw me kind of go off just a little bit on immediate annuities. So I want to talk about them just a little bit more if I can. Here's the scoop. Again, an immediate annuity, if you weren't listening earlier, where were you, by the way? Anyway, is a contract with an insurance company. Don't have a problem with that. But the contract allows for the insurance company to pay you immediately a monthly sum of money every single month for the rest of your life. When you die, they get all the money. That's a very simplistic version of it. All right. The reason that right now I don't like immediate annuities at all in most cases is that they figure out not only how long that they think you will live, but what is the current interest rate that they could pay you in that calculation. Interest rates are the lowest they have ever been. Why would you want to lock in such a low interest rate right now for the rest of your life? Don't you think if you just waited a few years that it would make more sense years from now to do an immediate annuity than to do it right now? So be very careful. Just know most financial advisors, when they sell you an immediate annuity, they will make at least a 4% commission to do so. All of you are so stressed out right now because you don't know what to do with your money. Interest rates are so low. If you keep it in a savings account, you don't want to make 1% with it. So somebody tells you that they're paying you a high interest rate. When interest rates are low, you can't get a high interest rate anywhere. It's just the fact of life. You could, however, if you were smart, maybe you're better off buying high-yielding, dividend-paying stocks if you have a lot of money you can diversify, or exchange-traded funds. It is something you should all look into. But at this point in time, would I be doing an immediate annuity? I would not under most circumstances. Now you know. All righty now. You know what makes me smile? What makes me smile is how much many of you really do know, because you've been watching the Suze Orman Show week in and week out every year for 10 years now. Can you believe that? And you all know there's only one thing when it comes to your money that really matters, and it is this, everybody: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.